Who killed Jason Blossom? Now, I realised that I haven't actually done a video on who I believe is the killer of Jason Blossom, considering how Riverdale is one of my favourite TV shows at the minute, and I haven't done a video on it. I think that's quite a weird thing, so I'm just going to make this video to go through my opinion on it and who I believe by going through some options to figure out who is Jason's killer. Obviously, we know that he is a member of the Serpent, so that is quite a driving force, but then also quite recently we've seen that he is kind of a drunk, and because he is involved with the Serpents, that links into the whole drug storyline that's going on. And also we saw inside of his cupboard, we see Jason's jacket, and at the end of the last episode we see him getting quite concerned after he was questioned by Jughead. My next theory is actually Jughead himself. Now this is going to stir up quite a lot of trouble and it might be quite controversial. However, there is a theory out there that the whole thing where Jughead is narrating the show is that he is actually writing this from prison, and he either does it or potentially gets framed for it. So that is a potential option in my mind. Now, I also believe that Hal is quite a viable option. Hal Cooper, I think his name is. I don't think it's Alice, but I think Hal, the way he was trying to get his daughter Polly to go into an abortion clinic was, quite an obvious factor unbeknownst to Alice. And also, he just does not want Blossom blood in his family whatsoever, so he definitely has that hatred and that vengeance towards the Blossom family. This next one would be crazy, but it could be Cheryl. Now, Cheryl is of course his sister, but she is so crazy and so mental that I think maybe she just did this to get attention. Maybe she just did this to create this whole story, and that would be extremely mental. Yes, there's the whole incest kind of thing, but we don't really know if that's real yet, so we'll have to see. Another theory is also Polly Cooper. Now, Polly, she is Jason's girlfriend. She's also, the mother of the child, and I don't know why, I just kind of have an inner feeling inside of me that could be her. There are just so many options. The show gives you so many options, like a different one each episode. Now, what about Betty? Now, this would be extremely interesting, because Betty is obviously always known as like kind of the sweet girl next door, but we do see in episode 3 that she has an absolutely mental side to her that is quite dangerous, and perhaps, they're trying to set up this relationship with Jughead, and then maybe this is just a deflect of how she really did kill Jason. That would be crazy. So, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you've watched Riverdale and who you believe is Jason's killer, because it's quite an interesting debate, as there's no one physical answer. As I don't have a definitive answer, because every episode the show tends to give you a different murderer, really. So we're just going to have to stick with the show until the finale to perhaps find out who is Jason's killer.